Hey everybody, my name is Lewis,
I'm Brandon.
and we are Man Bites Film. This episode, we are going to be reviewing Anti-Crist.
Ooh.
This film
Ooh.
was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, holy crap. Go ahead, Brandon, tell me some of the specs about it, the actors, director,
All right.
etc.
Okay, so, oh, wait, let me go back a second. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so this film is directed by Lars von Trier, which, if you don't know, has directed Dancer in the Dark. Did I say it
Yes.
correctly, Lewis?
Yep.
Okay,
You
Dancer
said
in
it.
the Dark, which has Bjork. He also directed Melancholia and, Nymphomaniac Volumes 1 and 2, or together, whatever. It has a 6.6 on IMDb and a 50% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. It stars two people, Willem Dafoe and Charlotte Gainsbourg,
Yeah.
which is it's pretty crap. So
yeah, that was a very modest rating. Whoever rated that was pretty much they're a critic that just they don't give a shit about story apparently. The whole story about this film, at least from what I grabbed, I'm pretty sure Brandon grabbed the same thing. The kid of these two people die. They become very depressed, obviously, for obvious reasons.
Basically.
Especially the woman becomes completely obliterated. Her life just falls apart, and she literally turns into a completely different person than what we see in the first third of the film. And this guy, William Dafoe's character, is a psychologist and is trying to bring his wife back into the world by
back to sanity.
yeah, basically teaching her how to cope with all these things that happen to her. And along the way she basically is fighting all these triggers for her depression, and he's taking her to the trigger points and teaching her how to cope with them, because obviously if she could cope with the triggers, then she could cope with the insanity of her lost child. And
And
the film
by the way,
just
before
doesn't-
Lewis,
Uh-huh.
before you continue, for the viewers, their son died while they were having sex.
Yeah. So now she relates that, and
Yeah.
but for some odd reason, she every 5 minutes in the film jumps William Dafoe and starts humping him like a freaking wild animal.
And then she's like, "Hit me," and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, she
that
goes
escalated
really
quickly.
out there, and she really trying to punish herself, I guess, in my eyes. Then after she's taken to this place by Defoe's character, they run into this crazy events that happen, and this is the part of the film where it just completely loses itself and becomes completely artsy fartsy crap.
Yeah. So
That's pretty much the
As
story
Lewis-
in a nutshell, I think.
yeah. So as Lewis was saying, we'll go into the characters. There's two characters. Like I said, Willem Dafoe and Charlotte Gainsbourg. They are husband and wife.
No. There's not
She's-
only two characters.
Okay, the animals.
The animals were the best part of this movie, alright? The careless birds. That shit was hilarious. I lost it laughing at that.
They're the only two human characters in the film. I guess three if you want to count their son.
Yeah.
But he's there for like 5 minutes of the film and then dies. So they're the only two. She is batshit fucking nuts. By the way, for anyone that is thinking about watching this film, A, do not. B, it is extremely graphic in certain scenes of the film.
Yeah. For
in
those
the
people
first-
that think Deadpool was bad, yeah, this is completely...
Oh!
You cannot take any child under 18
Who the
years
fuck?
old to watch this movie.
Who the fuck says... Okay, I don't want to get off on a tangent, but who the fuck says Deadpool's that bad?
Dude, everybody is like going crazy. All these religious nuts. They're
my
going
God.
freaking nuts about the movie. All right, first of all, it's a character that in the ads is telling you that he's gonna be cursing and treating people like shit. Why would you want to watch that if you don't agree with that type of thing, or don't take that as a sense of humor So don't go watch it. This one, on the other hand, it kind of deceives you. obviously it's called Anti-Crist, which kind of throws away the religious nuts, but this movie has nothing to do with Anti-Crist.
Yeah, so it's very artsy fartsy film.
It's pretty bad.
I don't mind artsy fartsy to a certain extent. This one was a little bit too much up its own ass.
Yeah.
I think like Lewis and I were saying earlier, or like in previous conversations, that I feel like this movie, he shot it like with he knew what he wanted to say, but like it doesn't come across. Yeah, it doesn't come across clear as day towards the viewer. Half the movie, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
and you can make art. You can make art films.
Yeah.
All right. David Lynch does a phenomenal job with that, and he is my go-to person when it comes to art films. But this guy, he did it without any sense of story at all. I mean, he fell flat. His story didn't have any plot. The first 1/3 of the film is beautiful to look at. It has these cinematography pieces that are just outstanding. There's scenes, especially at the first couple minutes, the sex scenes are beautifully shot in this like, diffused lighting, and then it cuts away to the child being lost in this very dreamlike snow scene that
it's almost so like black and white.
Yeah.
Like and it's in slow-mo, you know, like they'll be having sex and like they hit something and like a bottle will spill, but it's really slow, and then you'll see it roll off the table.
Yeah.
And it's beautifully the movie is beautifully shot. Beautifully.
It is.
But it's so fucking up its own ass that like I told Lewis, I was like, I had to watch this movie in 2 sittings because like at one point like mentally I wasn't sane enough to continue watching this shit.
And you know why I made you watch this? First of all, I put myself through it, and I was like, you know what? Since this fucker still has not seen Election, I'm gonna throw this at him, and maybe he'll go watch Election, because I've made you watch some crazy shit, and this one took the cake. So it's only gonna get worse.
Yeah, man. Honestly, man, we're like derailing our format, but fuck it. Fuck. This is the first Lars von Trier film I've seen, and it'll honestly probably be the final Lars von Trier film that I ever see, because I can't. And I've actually talked to people that have watched. I've heard okay stuff from Melancholia, but I've heard pretty bad shit about Nymphomaniac.
I heard that this was awesome. And let me tell you, that critic that said that this was awesome and that gave it those scores on IMDb and Rotten Tomato, go fuck yourselves. All right? Because you made me sit through that movie, and that was the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen. So this episode is a disclaimer. Do not watch this piece of crap. This
honestly, funny enough, it's weird. I've seen movies where I am constantly looking at the time.
Yeah.
And for some odd reason, I never did it with this film, but I still acknowledge that I wasn't enjoying myself.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't that, like, I wasn't enjoying myself, but I wasn't, like, that unenjoying myself. You get myself?
Yeah.
Like, you get me? Like, it wasn't like, oh my god, but it was pretty fucking bad. Alright, so, yeah, it's very, it's really weird film. It's very graphic. As we said, there's
this film has a lot of things that first of all, I didn't tell Brandon about some of them. I knew about them. So as soon as I saw the
I came in,
I was like, I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm out.
So
I'm not watching this.
To get some context, the 3 most like explicit scenes in the film are the first scene, the first shot, which is the penetration, which Lewis told me is the 2 actors were actually having sex, which blew my fucking mind.
Penetration close up. I mean, it was a freaking money shot of them having sex. Mm-hmm. It was crazy.
Second one was at one point in the film, after she proceeds to hit her husband in the dick with a giant slab of wood, like a 2x4.
That hurt my soul, dude. I was like,
yeah.
oh no.
She proceeds to take his pants off and jerk him off to completion, and then he ejaculates blood.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, before I get to the final one, which is the scissor one that Lewis was talking about, this movie had some shit that I was literally like, this is really rated R? Like, this is some NC-17 shit. Like, it was
and it's on
out
Netflix.
there.
And it's on Netflix.
And it's on Netflix. Well, that doesn't matter.
Hell?
That doesn't matter because actually,
That's kind of crazy.
Actually, not one of my favorite films, but a film that I really enjoy, Blue is the Warmest Color, which is about a lesbian couple, and it's rated NC-17 for very graphic sex scenes, was actually on Netflix for a while. So, and I'm talking like 9-minute like softcore porn kind of scene. So, yeah. To me, it's not that surprising. But what I was surprised by was like that it was rated R.
Yeah.
You know, that was a little graphic. So the third scene, as Lewis was mentioning, was when she's going batshit nuts. She gets a pair of scissors, and she proceeds to spread open her vagina. The camera like zooms in, and she cuts her clitoris off, and then like blood squirts out. And I was like, "Oh, I'm done. I'm out. I can't do this anymore."
Yeah. I knew about it ahead of time. I actually watched this listened to this podcast called Film Vault, and they're the ones that brought it to my attention. But they warned me about that scene. So as soon as I saw her pick up the scissors, I'm like, I gotta pee. I'm going. And I ain't pausing that shit. I ain't gonna watch that whole thing. So I had like a what do you call it, frame in front of the TV that I could see from where I was. I'm like, all right, the scene's done. All right, I'll go back and watch it. I'm like, I am watching that. It was, from what I was told, it was as bad as that rape scene from Irreversible, and I've never been able to watch that scene completely straight through. I cannot.
That was worse. That I know you reviewed that film, but that scene is like hard
I can't
to
watch that.
fucking watch.
It's 10-minute non-stop. That's and it's right in your face.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that just took the cake. I've never seen anything like that, and I can't stomach it. I think the first time I watched maybe about a minute into it, and I was like, okay, this is not gonna stop. Holy shit!
Yeah,
it just
like,
started, and I was like, fast forward. I'm like,
I literally fucking started laughing when she cut off her clitoris. Like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is way too artsy. I don't know what the message is supposed to be behind her.
There's no message.
And okay, so
it's an insanity plea, basically.
Yeah,
they're
so
going crazy, and they go into this crazy art house style about animals being symbols to this, that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those films that you can never really interpret. It's like trying to interpret Mulholland Drive and trying to figure it out. David Lynch, he does these very artsy films, but he does it in such a way that it's entertaining. This is not entertaining. And
yeah, this is not.
In Mulholland Drive, there's like 50 million theories about that film. Nobody could understand why the fuck is that bum coming out of the garbage can. What the hell is that about? That freaked me the hell out the first time I watched that, by the way. And this has that same thing. Like, you could interpret it whichever way you want. In reality, most likely, this guy just put it together and said, oh, that looks cool, let me put that in there. And that's what David Lynch said. David Lynch said that these scenes in Mulholland Drive, they don't have a deeper meaning. He just put it there because it looked cool.
That's like, I feel like this movie, and I'm going to go into the ending in a second, because the ending is really fucking weird of this movie. But before I go into that, I just feel like this movie, half of it is like shock value, and it doesn't like hit as shock value. It's like you're trying too hard. Stop. Yeah. Like, you need to fucking like effort. Yeah, it's like you need to slow down.
Yeah.
But the ending is extremely strange. So before I get the ending, the movie's really weird because eventually he finds out that she's writing a thesis, which is about gynocide. Like, I guess, like, I don't fucking know, whatever. And she's putting like the wrong shoe on the wrong foot of her son for like a really long time.
Yeah.
And she was morphing his feet. And yeah. So I don't know. I got the whole thing that like she was like like she hated men or something. I don't know. It's like she attacks her fucking husband.
Yeah.
It was like she had to deform them in some way.
Yeah.
And then to go into the ending, like in the ending, he's like walking away after burning her at in a pyre basically, and all these like hundreds of women start walking up to him with like blurred faces, and they're all dressed like in very old-fashioned clothing.
Yeah.
So I read up about, because I finished this movie and I was like, what the fuck does that mean? So I went on Google and I was like, what does the ending of Anti-Crist mean? So I came across an article, and again, it's speculation because Lars von Trier has never said, I guess, exactly what the ending means, but
he's a pretentious asshole. He never will.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll be like, look at these stupid Americans saying that this
exactly.
is this and this is that. In reality, it was just a freaking stupid dream that I had, and I want to put it on film.
Yeah, so basically, throughout the film, there's a lot of mention of witchcraft. Yeah. And at one point, they mentioned that it was said that witches could bring hailstorms. And at one point in the film, when she's having one of her fucking episodes, it starts hailing. So I don't know if she's a witch or it's just whatever, pure coincidence for that matter. But that's what they were saying in the article, is that like all those women were women that were killed because they were thought to be witches or whatnot. And they were going to accept her into like their
that
afterlife.
Makes sense, but at the same time, I don't know. I honestly thought it was like sort of like a self-fulfilling prophecy type of thing. And it was different women that fell into the same type of depression and just lost their minds. That's what I thought. Yeah. It was the representation of all these women that did the same thing and committed the same self-fulfilling prophecy type of thing.
Yeah.
And ended up in the same path that she did. That's how I thought of it.
That's a good point.
When I started psychoanalyzing it a little bit more.
Yeah.
One of the things that I did really, really like, and I forgot to mention this, the walnuts. The nuts hitting the roof.
Oh, the acorn?
Dude,
the acorns.
Those things were nuts. That was very interesting, and that was really good part. That was the only good part of the second and third act. The first act of this film is phenomenal, and if they would have just done it as a short film and only would have been the first act of the film, this would have been a good 8. All right? But since there's a second and third act, and they're both a piece of shit, I gave this a 2 out of 10. What do you think?
I agree. I agree with Lewis. 2, and as you know me from previous reviews with Lewis, I don't rate movies that low.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, first movie from Lars von Trier, final movie from Lars von Trier. Never again. Yep. Very bad. It was very bad. So if you can take away one thing from this video, don't fucking watch this movie.
Yeah, this is a huge disclaimer to stop. Do not watch this film.
Don't watch this movie.
This is exactly. This is what you probably learn more about the film than if you're actually watching it.
Yeah.
By watching this episode. Yeah. So
it's
Brandon. What? Just give us a couple of podcasts that you're doing as well, so we can wrap this up because this film's not worth any more time.
Okay, I got my pick for next time.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah, my bad.
Breaking the fourth wall. Fuck it. We're recording a couple days after the Oscars. You're probably not watching this. Well, God knows when it's going up, but whatever. So our boy Leonardo DiCaprio finally won an Oscar. Congratulations, deserves it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to pick one of his films, and a film that I've never seen of his, and that is What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
All right. Yeah. Awesome. I had this actually on my queue, and I really wanted to watch this, so I'm glad that you're making me review this because this was actually going to come up for review very quickly. And actually, This is actually being taken off of Netflix in July, so this review will be perfect timing for it.
Awesome. Yeah. Good. I did not know that.
Yes.
So
they're taking off a bunch of films in July, and this is one of them that they're taking.
Awesome. All right. So let me do my plugs. So if you like video games and you like friends talking shit, and I'm starting a podcast about video game news there, check out Gameside Manners. We bring content daily, or at least we try to. 10, 15, sometimes a little longer of your time. But yeah, check us out at Gameside Manners on YouTube. Thank you very much.
And I'll have the link below, like always.
My
name is Lewis. This is Brandon. And we will always see you every Friday This is Man Bites Film, and Brandon will be back in 1 month. We're going to try to have the episodes for the third or last Friday of every month. So that's when he'll be on.
Awesome.
Yep. So we'll see you next week, and Brandon will see you next month.
Bye, guys.
See ya.